What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Pick Six channel. And today we'll be giving the Week 9, yes, Week 9 predictions for the NFL season. And we'll be covering the Raiders, the Niners, the Cowboys, the Packers, the Rams, and the Steelers. And Cholo Trucker isn't here this week, but I'm sure he'll be back next week, okay? So without further ado, we'll be doing this one solo. So let's get straight into it. So we got the Niners on a bye week this week. They are 5-3, coming off of 3 straight losses. That being to the Browns, the Vikings, and the Bengals. And look, one of them I could say is just a trap game against the Browns. What happened against Minnesota, I don't know. I don't know. But the Bengals are a good team. Okay, maybe it doesn't necessarily show on their record quite yet, but they're really starting to play a lot better. This microphone isn't even connected. I just realized that. So I guess that doesn't really matter. But I forgot to connect it to my phone. But, you know, the Niners, there's not really much to worry about. Okay, I know 3 straight losses usually isn't a great sign. I'll say this, it's a great sign that they have their bye week. Okay, well needed bye week. The team needs to rest. The team probably, some injuries that could get better during this bye week. And I don't think it's time to panic if you're a Niner fan. And with the addition of Chase Young, I think they'll be all right. I do. Do I think they get the first seed in the NFC? Probably not. Probably not. The Eagles are looking or are on a better path than the Niners are right now. And I still see the Niners potentially winning the NFC. Okay, I don't think it really changes anything. But they do play Jacksonville coming off that bye week. So that might be a little rough. They might be looking at 4 straight losses. But we'll see. I think they'll still be up there when the playoffs come. Next, we have another NFC West team. We have the Los Angeles Rams going into Lambeau Field to play the Packers, the Cheeseheads. We have the Rams, who are 3-5, coming off a loss against Dallas, and the Packers, who are 2-5, coming off a loss against Minnesota. Now, I didn't think this was that tough of a choice to pick. But now that I'm reading that Stafford has an injured thumb, I think. I don't know on what hand, but it seems like he's in a day-to-day process. So if he's not going to play, then that kind of changes things. But I'm still going to go Rams. Okay, I'm still going to go Rams. I think there's still some hope for the Rams. I can't say that for the Packers, at least for this season. I still think the Rams can turn around and even potentially squeeze in a 7th seed, maybe. So I think they take this game. I think they improve to 4-5. As for the Packers, I think they just stay on the roll they've been and go to 2-6. They just really look like they're in that rebuilding stage right now. Next, we have the New York Football Giants or New Jersey Football Giants going into Las Vegas to play the Raiders. The Giants are 2-6, coming off a Battle of New York or Battle of New Jersey loss against the Jets, and the Raiders are 3-5, coming off a loss against Detroit. A lot of headlines from the Raiders this week. Is that really surprising? I don't really know. I don't think so. But they did get rid of Josh McDaniels, which was that really the problem? I almost said in Oakland. In Vegas, it might have been part of the problem, or I'll say it was a part of the problem, okay? But I think there are bigger problems going on in that organization, and that includes the front office and things like that. I think they need to just clean house, a new slate, okay? That's the only way the Raiders become good again, because under the system they have, I just don't see it for them. And I'm sure a lot of Raider fans see the same thing. And I really sympathize. I really do. As for this game, the Giants do get Danny Dimes back, Daniel Jones. I would like to think that would help out the Giants offense, which just hasn't looked good at all, especially against the Jets. But the Jets do have a good defense, a really good defense. Um, I'm gonna go Giants here. It is a bit of a rough game to choose. I can see it going either way. But I guess I'll go Giants just because the Raiders are just not looking good, not looking good at all, even though they have a better record. But I'll go Giants there. Next, we have America's Game of the Week, containing of the Dallas Cowboys walking into Philadelphia to play the Eagles. The Cowboys are 5-2, coming off a win against the Rams, and the Eagles are 7-1, holding the number one seed, the best record in the NFC. I think in the NFL too. I think so. Holding the best record in the NFC, coming off a win against Washington. Of course, this is America's Game of the Week. We actually have some good football this week. We really do. Which is a sigh of relief coming off that Sunday Night Football game last week with the Bears and the Chargers. But as for this one, I don't think it's as good as advertised. I think the Eagles go in, win by 2, maybe even 3 possessions. I've seen what the Cowboys have looked like against top teams. Hasn't been really pleasant. Okay, and I feel like we see that time and time again, and I think that continues. Eagles are looking. Well, actually, they didn't look that as strong last week against the Washington Football Team Commanders, Redskins, but overall, they're still the top team. The top team in the NFC as far as record-wise. As far as rankings, that's on you. But, yeah, I think Eagles take this one pretty convincingly. And that's no hate to the Cowboys. I still think they make the playoffs and things like that. Squeeze out a wild card. But this game, I don't see them beating them in Philadelphia. Maybe if it was in Dallas, maybe it would be a little bit tougher to choose. But I'm going to go Eagles. Last but certainly not least, we have the Tennessee Titans going into Pittsburgh to play the Steelers. The Titans are 3-4, coming off a win against Atlanta. The Steelers are 4-3, coming off a loss against Jacksonville. Boy, am I psyched for this game. Gosh, I just can't wait. Oh, man. That's really been the life of being a Steeler fan this year. Just hasn't been good. And it's weird because the Steelers are still 4-3, which is insane with how badly with how bad they have been playing at some points in the season. Okay, look, let me just brush off that loss against Jacksonville or go over it a little bit. Steelers had their opportunities to win. Okay, it was a very winnable game. Maybe I'm not going to say opportunities, but it was a very winnable game. Defense did all you could ask for in them. 3 turnovers, only allowed 20 points. What else do you need from the defense? Really? Did it look perfect? No. But they did good enough. I'm going to say this, and I'm sure I've said it already, so I'm not going to go too much on it. The Steelers' offense is going to continue to be lackluster with Matt Canada as their coordinator. Every Steeler fan knows it. Hell, every NFL fan knows that. Okay? So the fact that there hasn't been any change is absolutely ridiculous. Okay? And the longer that this drags out, the more I'm going to kind of point the finger at Mike Tomlin. And I've been saying this since week 4, after they lost against the Houston Texans. Nothing has changed. Nothing will change. I'm not expecting anything to change, but it's still going to fall on Tomlin. And I've never hated on Tomlin, okay? I never have. But the fact that this is still dragging on is crazy. As far as this game, it's another winnable game for the Steelers, and I do like the fact that they're at home. Okay, I know Cholo Trucker has his superstitions, doesn't like the Steelers being at home. Okay, but in this game, I like it because it's a Thursday night game. Okay, the fact that they don't have to travel anywhere, the fact that they just get to stay put on a short week, that already kind of gives you an advantage. It does. It does. I don't expect this to be a really good game. Not because it's going to be a blowout or anything like that, or maybe it is a blowout. Maybe the Steelers get blown out of the water. Who knows? I don't expect the Steelers to blow out any team this year with the offensive coordinator. I really don't. But Thursday night games have just not been good, particularly within the last 2 seasons. It just hasn't been a good product of football. You know, from what it seems like the Steelers always play Thursday night football games every week. That's what it seems like. So I think that continues. I could see this game going either way. I think the Steelers are only favored by a percentage or two, not very much. I'm gonna go Steelers winning 17-10. Is that really saying much? I don't know. I think it's another ugly win. I really do. And the Steelers go to 5-3, which is that saying much? Guys, I don't know. You know, if they're getting wins, if they could pull off wins, you know, they could find their way into the postseason. Which I don't know how good they'll be in the postseason, but I would still like to see the team in the postseason. Yeah, it's gonna hurt though, because the Steelers are gonna have Minkah Fitzpatrick. Even though Cameron Hayward comes back, the captain. Okay. So they get a huge plus on defense, but then they also get a huge minus on defense. And the secondary hasn't been very good for the Steelers. At least that's from what I see. The only person that's really shown any sort of spark is Joey Porter Jr. Everything else is a little bit suspect. And not having Minkah there is gonna hurt. It really is. But, I mean, the pass rush is gonna be a lot better with Cameron Hayward. Yeah, we'll see how this game turns out. I hope it's at least decent. I don't think it will. I think it's gonna be another ugly game. I really do. I'm gonna go 17-10. Steelers get the victory, improve to 5-3, and yeah. Other than that, guys, that was week number 9 predictions, and we'll catch you guys next week on Pick 6. See you guys in the next one.